Greetings, everyone. This is Grandmaster Amin Ra coming to you again from Mombasa, Kenya, where I have lived for over 21 years amongst my fellow Africans. I left the United States, goodbye, and made that jump. And to this day, it was one of the best moves I've ever made. So my topic today is, do we as Black people have a culture? What's up, O'Shea? So I was on Dinus Samir's show last night, and as usual, it was the connection was somehow poor, and I was on with other guests. And because the things that I talk about are really, some of it is really off base, or, I can say the word, unknowing to a lot of people, you'll get people that are going to reject what I say when they first hear it. Then, when you get people on the chat and when you get people on, actually on the actual live program, disagreeing with me just off of the cuff, this is, I disagree. Okay. That can be confusing to people who really want to try to understand what I'm trying to say. So I wanted to make a clear video today where I wouldn't be interrupted, and I can explain to the people what I mean when I say we Blacks don't have a culture. So when we come to Africa, we want to be like, I'm a Black American, blah 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 blah, or So even in the term Black American, it shows that we as Black people in America don't have our own separate culture. Because the culture separates you from everybody else. It's like things that your group does, habits that they do, ways that they have of doing things separate you from somebody else. This is Luo culture. This is Kikuyu culture. This is Mandian culture. People would make these terms. And let me see. Oh, what are you saying? Hi, brother. Hi, how are you? This is a guy that had been chatting with you on the WhatsApp for the past few days. Okay, how are you, man? And I sent you a copy of something. Did you get it? Ad you sent me. I didn't see it. I don't know. You might have to send it to me again, because I get a lot of messages, especially over these past 2 weeks where I'm really, really back and forth from Mombasa to Nairobi. But I'm talking about the culture. If you didn't get a chance to watch the Dynasty video, it was kind of interesting, because there was a guy who was saying that we do have culture. He's a young guy, and I can understand that. But a lot of us believe they feel bad when someone says we don't have a culture, because he was pointing to LeBron James as that's why a Black culture. No, that's not a culture. And first of all, I want to say that culture has some main points. To have a culture, seriously have a culture, you need to have some things here. Like, one, you need to have a language. Now, we got a slang, but it's a slang of American language. We don't have our own language. And that's painfully obvious when you go right into when you go to Africa. There's a time when I was with a brother from the U.S., and we was at a restaurant, and we was chopping it up, talking about different things, and we were talking pretty fast, and I can understand him, he can understand me, but I know that the chick that he was with was like, she can't understand that when we could say. So we start feeling good, because it's like now we can talk to each other, and people don't know what we're talking about because we've experienced that. But unfortunately, no. We didn't invent none of the words that we were saying. We were just, mispronouncing them as far as the King's English is concerned. The second thing you need land. You need to have a land of your own. Someplace you die, you get buried. You can go, you go be buried with the ancestors. You know what I'm saying? If things go down, you got a homeland to go to. In America, we don't even have black communities anymore. And I still hear people talking about the black community. You don't have a black community. It was taken from you. And this is my issue on this thing, is that I know it really hurts us when we realize that we don't have these things. And we tend to ignore it, or we try to make excuses like that brother was doing last night, talking about LeBron James is black culture. No. You know what I'm saying? So in this point, you got to realize how much damage has been done to us by the people who stole us and brought us to their country, and then beat our original names out of us and stopped us from using our own languages. I mean, what if we was in America and the white man said, "Let them keep their language"? I mean, we could be talking all kind of different slangs of African dialects, but no, that wasn't the case. He came and he knew that he wanted to just finish us by taking away our names. Drop Kunta Kinte and you take Toby. I advise all of you to take a look at the first couple episodes of the original Roots, and then see and feel what John Amos portrays so brilliantly in his acting, from being a proud African warrior to being somebody that was just a tool to be with the rest of the farm animals. And you get the point. So no, we don't have a culture. And the next point I want to bring up is that I felt I got a lot of attacks in the chat room and in the message section, and I was saying, okay, yeah, send it. I was saying that it's not that when we say that we don't have a culture, I know what we're really feeling. What we're really trying to say as black people coming into Africa is saying, I don't have an identity. When you just say don't have a culture, really what black people hear you say and how they feel is like, I don't have an identity. And then you get mad and you start attacking the messenger. But I'm not the one who took your identity. Your identity was African. And the white man in this country and his followers are all fighting for you to remain ignorant. Therefore, you will not even go to the airport and leave the country. As long as they can keep you a Negro, a mindless fool, then they don't have to guard the airport and stop you from going. You just automatically won't go. And then on top of that, when people do go, you'll criticize them because you've been trained that way. Here's the man who oppressed us for 400 years in his so-called country that he beat up Indians and took. And we fighting to stay with that. It just doesn't make any sense. We have to come to realize it. And after generation after generation, we just get used. You get used to the snow. You get used to the earthquakes. You get used to the twisters and blizzards and things like these things that are coming up. And he's quickly going around paying you a little money to help you rebuild because he don't want you to come to realize that the United States is a piece of real estate that is in terrible condition. The Spaniards took all the best land in South America, and they killed any British that was coming to the South America. And so you only had what was the United States, which had been already looked at and said that shit ain't gonna work because you can't farm you can't have no crops, you can't live past, you freeze to death in the wintertime, you see? But the British had no other, the independent British had no other choice. They had to stay there. And they was dying off left and right until they started getting black people from Africa to come in there and say, hey, man, you gotta cut this wood, buddy, or you're gonna freeze to death. Or hey, buddy, look, you gotta plant these seeds now, not tomorrow, because, the season is right for them, you see? You got to do this many. You got to find these many seeds and put it in this much dirt, not too deep, but And so that's how they were able to survive, by listening to blacks. And they listened to us up into the 1600s, when they saw that women was listening to us even more. See, when a white woman had her choice between this white guy and this black guy, she was choosing the black guy left and right. They writing that in the history. Now they're expressing that. So they had to be, we had to be changed. So the white man took the only thing he had, which was made some laws, and forbid the white woman to marry with blacks. And when doing so, when they were writing the laws, they had to come up with some certain terms. And this is how the white man term came, and that black man and the Negro. All these terms started to come out to identify us. And so by late 17th century, they figured out our numbers, they figured out what we was about, and they just had to control us, because otherwise, if all the white women came over to black people, obviously they saw the children that was being produced, non-white children. So that's what happened. This is what happened in America. And from that bore out racism. And racism was like, the white man's only way he can control us is through economics. And he's been controlling economics fiercely since that time. And he learned to master it, and he has used it on all nations of the world, so that we have to buy all our oil using the US dollar. But China is on their neck, and I'm hoping that China will succeed in becoming the common dominant currency, and people will stop getting off the dollar. Every time you buy something in your foreign country that's pegged on the dollar, the US government gets a piece of that, gets a few coins of that, and that comes up to a lot of money. But times are changing. Poland, if O'Shea was still in the chat room, I know he's gone. Poland just said they want all they gold back from England. They just said that a couple of days ago, yesterday, I think. Oh, we don't trust you, because these things of controlling money and people's money, and then putting sanctions on other countries if they don't follow through, and holding the gold of Venezuela. Other countries becoming nervous. And this international news, how does that affect us as black people? Well, if the dollar goes off, stops being the standard, the U.S. government gonna lose a lot of revenue. This is why they took out Iraq. Saddam Hussein, when he tried to go to the euro to trade his oil. This is why they had to kill Gaddafi, because he tried to use gold as the standard payment system and move away from the dollar. But it's going to happen. And when these African countries have to make a choice, because China has been such a good friend to all of the African countries as far as doing business and helping them support their economies, it's going to be a no-brainer for the African countries, and the U.S. knows this. And then some black Negroes in the United States also see this happening, and they say their solution, their reasoning is that, the United States got a military that can come wipe out anything that you build in China. So they would do that. Why? The Africans tried to kill them? No. It's because of the mentality that they have. It's really, when you break it all down, it's based on fear. They fear that the black man will eventually, overtake them again. But if you're only 7% of the population, if you're only 7% of the world population, what do you expect? You see? You can't expect to be controlling the whole world and forever, because people are going to come to realize it. And through social media and other means, people are now waking up, and the truth is being put out there. It may take a decade or so, is our thing, but no, it's not. At the end of the day, it won't succeed. No, hip hop is not our culture, Billy Jackson. That is a music. Okay, and just because you claim that the original hip hop came from black people, it didn't. Okay, so you have to just understand your history, and let's not talk about hip hop. Well, if that's our culture, what's that say about Russell Simmons, who had to flee the fucking country before he was going to be demonized like they did Bill Cosby, which other people say it was our cultural icon, you see, at one time. It's not a matter of where hip hop came from. I'm saying this is not a measure for what you would call culture, because you have blacks that don't like hip hop. You see, there are blacks who don't know hip hop. There's blacks that know jazz that don't know these things. And this is because as a people, we're not together to say this is our official culture, you see. So if you go to DRC, then they got Lingala, and you say everybody knows Lingala. Yeah, no, everybody don't know Lingala when you go to DRC. When you go to Japan and you say, okay, Japan got karate. You say, okay, so Japan's culture is karate. No, most Japanese, 90-something% of them don't even care about karate. They like more American baseball. You see? So you can't use these things as a cultural base. What you can use as a cultural base is something that is solid, that is definite, you know, for all throughout the whole people, which is land and language. Okay, so when you come over to Africa, nobody can know that you a hip hop person. Let's say talk to you and then you explain it to them. But if you come here and you start speaking in your own language, then people say, okay, I understand that you're not us. You see, but you come here, you speak in English. You know, you're looking kind of weird because, you know, that's the language of Americans. You feel what I'm saying? So you think it's culture, but it's not culture. What makes solid culture is those things where you have leaders who you revere. Okay, you got Martin Luther King, but a lot of people don't get with him. You got Marcus Garvey, but he wasn't even an American. You got Malcolm X, but black people murdered him. You see what I'm saying? So when I came here, and I experienced people's actual real, what binds them together is basically those two things, is land and language. You see? So they say, I'm from so and such a place. Oh, okay, my ancestors, you know, I got family there, so we were related. I hear this conversation all the time amongst Africans. You know, they introduce you, this is my guy, you know, he's from my homeland. You see? But you can't even say that in the United States, especially today, because we don't even have black communities. The gentrified, you can't say you're from Harlem. What's Harlem today? Let's go to Harlem and see where you come from. No, you see white people and Mexicans everywhere walking up and down the street. Black people can't even afford to live there. You see what I'm saying? So in some places, so the whole makeup of even having our own designated place is being erased, and we're just ignoring it like it's not happening. No, we don't have a culture. So I just think that if you hear what I'm saying, you might not quickly grasp it right away, but if over time you start thinking about it and you realize it. So when you're talking about coming to Africa, you really have to know that you're from a lost people. You don't have a language, you don't have a land, you don't have nothing like culture. You see, 20 years ago, when I first came here, all the Kenyans used to come to me and show me, oh, this is my music, you know, and it was also music from the U.S. And I was like, damn, I'd get on the matatus and travel, and every matatu would have black music, you see, from black artists. You know, the number one radio station was a soul station in Kenya. You see, but today, that music is amongst the people, this generation today, they don't listen to this music. They have their own music, their own artists. You see what I'm saying? So I have been able to see the change from generation to next generation, that the African is going to create his own music, own hip hop. Maybe it has something similar, like, you know, maybe the videos and things like that, some sort of sound. But you can see the music that they listen to today is distinctly different than what their fathers and grandparents listened to. So we can stop using this thing about music, because even if you brought you know, some music over here today, they'll reject it because they understand their own music is there. Now I could come here 6 years ago, 7 years ago, precisely, and I could say Michael Jackson, and everybody would know who he is. But I'm telling you now, these young kids, like 6, 7, 8 years old now, they're growing up, they don't know nothing about no Michael Jackson, know nothing about his music. Okay? So let's not think like when you see shit on TV in the United States, like that thing is worldwide. No, the United States is not worldwide, and many things happen in people's countries that don't have nothing to do with the United States, And what happens in the United States has no bearing or interest to those people in their own countries. So let's get that straight too. So like LeBron James and Michael Jordan and all these people, they could be very famous in the United States. They can't walk the streets, but they come over to Africa, like Dave Chappelle did. Came over to Africa, he walk all around, nobody know who he is. You see what I'm saying? Now, how could Dave Chappelle do that in New York, Los Angeles, or Chicago? Okay, everybody know who he is. But you can go over to Africa and nobody know because the culture don't reach that far. Because I'm sure some of you thinking like your comedians are part of your culture. Black comedians are part of our culture. No. So I know I'm gonna hurt a lot of feelings like that, but it's good for you to be hurt sometimes, and then you rationalize this in your mind and you come to realize that we were Africans. Let me repeat that. We were Africans. We had our land, we had our culture, we were stolen, we were brought over to a strange land, and that shit was disconnected, cut, completely thrown in the ocean, done. Now you're a Negro. And so what are you gonna do about that? You can look at your 400-year history and then you can realize like, damn, there should be something. Because we're never going to prosper anywhere until we're part of a culture. That's another thing. That's another video for another day. We're not going to prosper anything until we become part of a culture. And I also said that night that when you move to Africa, you will be assimilated into the culture, the dominant culture. That means that if you come to Africa and you marry a Kenyan woman, then your children are going to be Kenyan. They're going to grow up, they're going to get Kenyan IDs, they're going to grow up, they're going to speak Kenyan languages, and they're going to meet other Kenyan men and women, and they're going to get married, and they're going to have children. That kid is going to be Kenyan. And your dad ass, Negro ass is, well, not Negro, but your African American ass that had no culture, you're just going to die. And, you just had your lineage is going to continue, and it's going to just be in Kenya, which is a good thing because we have a lot of good attributes about us. And it is a good slap in the face to the white man in America to say, look, you showed me your land, you had me there, but I didn't like it, I went back home. You see what I'm saying? So that is something that I feel proud about, to say that, I was in America and that, you treated me very, very badly. Not only you, but even my own people that was brought up by you treated me very badly, and I had to go. You see what I'm saying? So since I've come here, I've never had people really dish me or insult me or go through my history and make lies up about me, but it's ridiculous. So I mean, what can I say? I can start defending myself, but people are gonna think like, oh, listen to him. He's saying, okay. So what I used to do back in the day, when people used to tell me things, these lies, and create these lies, I used to say, look, I swear, and I'm telling you this from the heart, I swear on all my children in the U.S. and in Africa that I don't owe child support. I never owed child support. And if because the government say I owe child support, they ain't never proved that I owe child support. Okay? And there's no way you can say that I wasn't there for my children. Utter nonsense. I was there for each one of my children's births. And the mother would tell you that I was there pampering them like a good African man should, all during the time they were pregnant. But no, the government and the haters are gonna come up with all kind of bullshit to make me look as bad as I possibly can. That's all good. You guys have a good time with that. So yeah, was that O'Shea? Are you back? What's this Vanguard channel? Where did it come from then? What? Oh, I don't know what you mean. What you mean by where did it come from? Where did what come from? Hip hop? We talked about that. I don't think that because I used to think like nobody who had the rhythm that we had, not even the Africans. I didn't see Africans with the rhythm that we have, but they do have it in droves. And I've seen them dancing, and I've seen their music that they have created on their own, and I see that the basis of it. The only thing that we have over them is the ability to manipulate the music through technology and make all kind of different guitars and sounds and drums, special drums, and special microphones to make your voice be more higher than it is. Where in the past 30 years didn't have this type of equipment. But as they have been collecting this, especially in Nigeria, they've been booming, man. You see, they better than what we produce. I have to say. And I wouldn't say that because I know a lot of us, music in the United States, we only, the airways are controlled by our people our white people in the U.S. They can decide on what's going to be on the air and what's not going to be on the air, and they definitely ain't going to be putting on a lot of the black African songs. So you got to get them over the internet somehow or go searching for them. And they've really been trying for years to kind of control that music. Now they got a thing where if you download a song, it'll ruin your whole computer. If you download a song, you're gonna get copyrighted out of existence. You put it on YouTube, you put it on Facebook, and they'll politely give you a notice saying that this might be copyrighted. We can't show it. We can't play it. So they're fighting to keep control of our music, and at the same time, I'm sure that whites are coming over to Africa and trying to feed money into black artists and start funding African artists and start funding African artists. That's we'll see how that turns out. But I think as far as Nigeria is concerned, Chris, like that, there's too many of them for white people to pay off. And the ones that don't pay off is going to speak out loud and say that the white man did this show and that show. And then, of course, the Nigerians will have to defend themselves and say, no, I'm doing all this on my own. And they come to realize that it's possible, you see. So, we as Africans in America, we need to continue to keep that plan alive and make sure that peace, brother. How's that, Mr. Spacely? Spacely, how are you, man? Welcome to the channel. And I wanted to be able to say that we as Africans in America that are trying to get out. And I know we don't talk about it. I know, and I'm gonna have a show where we talk about all of the economic problems that we have that make it almost impossible to go to Africa and try to live there. We need to talk about that. Talk about how the actual child support is keeping a lot of brothers from going. Many brothers have told me, brothers on probation, and brothers got family members in jail or in the jail system, and they have to support them. I understand all that, and we need to discuss it. Now, I'm not saying that you got to just up and go to Africa, no, but you need to connect with it, because when the shit go down, the more you're connected, the easier to transition. Because right now, America could go to war, and you could get a letter in the mail saying you've been drafted. A lot of you young brothers out there, you ain't never seen nothing about the draft and got that, but you get a letter on fucking Facebook telling you report to this place by Tuesday. And if you don't do it, then police gonna be looking for you, and they're gonna start hiring all of these bounty hunters looking for you, and you're gonna be running around in the United States trying to hide and duck. And I'm like, what for? You see, what for? Could have brought your ass out from the beginning. So that's my take on the issue about culture. I've been here for 21 years. I have wrote a book on these subjects of blacks moving into Africa and talked about this in my book. So it's not like I'm talking from the back of my head, I've done, decades and decades of research, and I'm telling you, this is the clear picture. When I say that moving to modern Africa would solve 99% of your problems, it is true. And if we're not able to come, then goddamn it, you need to start looking at the children and bringing them here so that they can be educated here in the United States. America should not get another generation of our people just to mistreat them and tell them that you're going to make less money than your parents made. And then tell you that by the year 2050, you're going to have zero growth and you still want to stay there? What's that? What's the fascination? McDonald's? Damn sure ain't Disneyland, because you guys probably ain't gonna be allowed back in the Disneyland after that video the other day. God damn, you see. But that brother wanted to go to jail. That's it. He just was. Those all family members. He was slapping people around. He don't care about what happened on the camera. That nigga that wanted to go to jail. You know what I'm saying? Because jail life probably was better for him. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to jail tonight. That's what the guy was saying. We was beating this girl on live camera. No, he was being video. So in Disneyland. So you know what white people are saying about us in private right now. You know what I'm saying? That's just that took us back. You know, where they can trust it. But you see that when you take them, when you have an incident like that or some on video, it's really embarrassing to black for our people. Then whites talk about that video, then they bring up, you know, other whites talk about, oh, I remember that video from way back. What about that Rodney King when they whooped his ass? You see, those kind of jokes don't move us any closer to reparations or getting along or, you know, giving us some economic ability to a boost. No, it just makes our situation all the more worse. So I tell you, I'm happy because I don't have to look at anybody that's white. First of all, I don't see them. I haven't seen a white person in many weeks. But when I do see them here, when I'm in Africa, when I know I'm the majority, shit, you know what I'm saying? I feel a lot. I feel like the king. Then that they look like the minority. You know what I'm saying? And I that feeling I have, I never had in the United States. If I go back to the United States, I probably had culture shock, looking at white people like, God damn, you know. And then they looking at me badly. Oh no, I couldn't do it. That's worth the price of admission to come to Africa right there. See, they look at my children and they're gonna stand up tall. And when they when they get old, they're gonna know their history. They're gonna know who they are, where they come from, and they're gonna know white people through and through. They're gonna know the history, real history, the truth, and I'll be giving it to them. So as long as they let me live, I don't know, because these people like me, they can come out, they be coming for. And these kind of sick ass rumors they come putting out there, just I know it's just coming from agents and haters, you know. So let them bring me down if they want to. It's okay. I don't live my life, and so that's why I get on the video and I try to explain it to black people, because I know, like right now I'm talking to you, you get part of what I'm saying, you don't get, but then when you later on down the line, you're gonna find that what I'm telling you is true. I mean, if I write a book in 2005, and goddamn if it ain't true today, you know. If I'm talking about I'm leaving this country in 1987 because it's gonna go down, and you see what's happening today, then what? It's not even that difficult. What the hell is the choice? You know, a Big Mac burger versus, you know, having children that are any position they can be in a country that's got sunshine weather all through the year. No, what's the choice? I'm gonna be sitting up there. You know, I never forget this news guy was on TV talking. This black guy was on the news talking about he's in the cold, he's in you know, got in the snow with the microphone talking, ooh, God bless America, I love this place. But it makes no sense. You're in a country you fucking freezing to death, and you got a country that's yours, really yours, with sunshine all the time. Food is healthy, skies are blue, no smog, no earthquakes, no blizzards, no blizzards, no snow, no earthquakes, none of these weather conditions that tell you this is not a place where you want to be. You get what I'm saying? So we've been there too long till we start getting used to it. No. It's not necessary. It's not good for your psyche, not good for your body, not good for your health. You see what I'm saying? What you need is to be here. And unfortunately, unless you make a plan and just come see for yourself, I tell you, you ain't got to come here but a week. All of the bullshit inside, all of the propaganda, all of the America, Chinese taking over, all of the United States. Drop all that. Come here for a week and start singing that same song. Come here and stay for a week and see if you're going to talk about the Chinese, because you ain't going to see nothing. But I can tell you one thing, that if you keep looking at the news, CNN or any kind of news, or this Dr. fucking Moonby show, then you're gonna stay thinking that America is the best place for you. That's just not the case. Now I know the economic part of it is challenging right now. How can I come from America, from a first world country, and come live in a third world country, or a medium in Kenya is a medium income country? How can I come move here? This is what I'm saying. You know, I mean, it's a challenge right now. That's true. But if you're talking about business, oh man, you can go. I did some shows here. You can look at some of my other videos there on the side down here. You can see I have done videos on businesses that I have ventured into and created. And you know, the sky is the limit. I'm still learning now. I'm really getting heavily into understanding the marketing aspect of businesses, and you know, that's like a big book. I didn't know it was like all of that to it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm watching my videos every day and learning more things every day about how to deal with customers, how to get someone to buy from you that didn't want to buy at first, or who tells you no. Prospect tells you no, what to say when they say no. These kind of things are very important when it comes to telling your product. You know, making and branding yourself. These are all things that I'm learning now, and I'm utilizing these things right now. That Africa is right for that. You know, African consumer here is growing. When you're in a country where the population doubles within 25 years, my goodness, how can you not? How can you start a business and don't grow? You know what I'm saying? I can put my shit on the corner and be the only shop there, and then 10 years from now, it's like, you know, up 50%. You know, so you know, that's what I want to say. And okay, and then on the real side, because I was talking to this school administrator today, and he was like, "I mean, there's no money. There's no money." And you know, and I was like, you know, yeah, it's true. It's no, money seems like it's not here right now in Mombasa, not in Nairobi. It's just killing. And money is everywhere in Nairobi, but here in Mombasa, then it seems like there's a lack of money. So what do? You know, you sit there and you complain, you keep trying to fight it, and then you do what? No, you go back into your marketing strategies. You go back into your looking at your business. You start writing out your statistics, because that's what I did to my businesses here, and then I see it working. You can't say there's no money, because everybody's. I see everybody going to work in the morning, and people coming home. People going to the supermarkets. The lines is long. So I don't understand why businesses are saying there's no money. I think it's just that small businesses are not taking advantage of these things that are out there as far as advancing the marketing. Because in Mombasa before, you could just open a business and then the people would come to you, you know. But now it's because of the competition. It's not that simple. Like, you know, my wife has a salon. We used to be the one of 3 salons. Now he's got like 7 salons in the general area, little small ones around her. And she doesn't see like that's taking away business. People are preferring to go there, and you got to figure out why, and then, you know, adjust your business accordingly. And you know, that is that. But as far as talking about there's no money, these people don't know nothing about no recession. I was in a recession. I can tell you about the no money, yeah, in the system. And you people in 2007, I know you know what recession. I was here in Africa. I didn't even feel it. I didn't even know nothing about recession. I wasn't hearing nothing about recession in the news or in the United States, because they was trying to hide it from everybody. The same thing with Italy. Italy is almost dying. Greece died, you know, but they don't put that in the news. So there we are. You know what I mean? Thinking like we the only ones who, you know, no. I didn't see that because of, you know, like I said, I don't watch the news. So I'm gonna end this video now. I hope you guys appreciate it. If you do, we have the African Super Chat. I still haven't gotten in put up the poster for that new one. It's now we're using Western Union. And so if you want to super chat me African style, because there's no super chat in Africa. So we got an African super chat. We tried to use one of the programs, and then I guess a hater went out there and stopped us from using that particular format. So now we're using Western Union. And we think that if you want to send money quickly to the show when it first comes on, you can send it. I'm gonna put the phone number on the description. Watch that video I made about M-Pesa, so you can see how it works. When you send money to Western Union, $5, $3, and we really appreciate it. And remember, it's not like in America. This money is going to double in value the moment you send it. So it really helps me out. You requested me to go out and do videos outside and show you parts of Africa and talk to business people. I'm doing that. And you can see some of the videos I made already from outside. And I want to do a video on the border business, the transport system in Kenya. I know people that are owners of matatus and owners of the borders, and I want to interview them for you so they can tell you from the ground what the business is like, how you get involved in it in America. We as Black people must start taking advantage of the strength of the dollar while it's still strong. You know what I'm saying? Because someone sends me $5 or $10, this money doubles and triples in value, and we can utilize that to do special interviews with individuals that are of interest. I can take in request videos, and then if you request something about a certain particular business you saw, like land, I want to buy land. I mean, how can I show me some land in Kenya? I can do that for you. So let's get this busy because I'm about action, as I told you, and this is what we're going to be doing. And this is what we have been doing. Because when you watch some of my other videos here, you'll see me talking about I have already taken action. I have looked for and found a brother from Brooklyn who came over to Kenya 4 months ago, and I just took him on as a business partner. Now he's a retiree; he don't have that much business experience, but I'm just trying to show that what is possible if we drop our guard, our defensive guards, and take a brother in and say, look, okay, let's work together. You see what I'm saying? Now I've been here for 21 fucking years, and I still have issues of trust. You know what I'm saying? I look at the brother, I'm like, oh, is he an agent? Or, is he going to, I'm giving this business things, is he going to take it and use it against me? These are thoughts that still come into my mind today. And imagine I'm in Kenya 21 years away from that nonsense, and these things are still in me today, and I know they're in him. And I'm always trying to ease his mind. And there's other brothers that have been talking to me about coming in and doing business. And I'm like, let's do business. Let's not just go on TV and talk about this and that and what the white man has done. So that's time for that is over. Let's not talk about what the Chinese is going to do. We ain't met no Chinese. We don't even know no Chinese people. So why are we even talking about them? All I know is that when I walk outside, people is busy. Money is being transferred around in this place. So why not me? Why not me get my step, put myself in a position and then do that? And then, why not have brothers come here, partner up with me, and then we work up a business ourselves. This is what all the other races are doing. And the Black people are not doing it because this mistrust. You know what I'm saying? And I can appreciate it because I have been done wrong, in the past. So I can appreciate it, but I have to keep trying, because somewhere out there is a brother that got the same feeling for me, same feelings as I do. You're an honest brother and you want to just come, be a part of something, and you want to put your money somewhere, but you don't know who to trust. Okay. So I'm saying like this, I'm not going to even ask you to trust me. I'm just going to keep putting videos out, and you can keep analyzing them, and you can see for yourself whether I'm who I am, or am I legit or am I not legit. I'm not here to be asking for your money. Africans know where the fucking money is going. The guy comes on with another video about something nonsense, and you like, oh, this is a good message. Let me throw out some coins in here. No. If you're gonna do that here, I don't want that money. I want somebody that's gonna put out money and say, let's do it. Show me this, do me this, and then I show you, and I feel good that I was able to, give you what you wanted about Africa. No longer you gotta listen to this nonsense about what the Chinese is doing in Africa. Like, you're gonna be affected by that when you come here. You know what I'm saying? So, I need a nice African woman that I can trust that won't take me for a ride. Hey, I know dozens of them. So, but more importantly, I know what to look for. When I first came here, I didn't know what to look for, and I had gone through so many messed up, not so many, but a few messed up relationships. And I learned from them, and now I know the secret of finding a good African woman. One that ain't gonna take you for a ride, one that's gonna be there supportive for you, and I've been with one for 10 years now. We got 3 beautiful children, and I'm like, shoot, every night just, I'm, I'm just blessed. And I know that the haters out there right now are trying to find out, going through everything, try to find out who my woman is, so they can try to destroy our relationships and sit back and say yes. Okay, fine. I expect that. You know what I'm saying? But now for you other brothers out there that listen to what I'm telling you, support me. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't have to be here and put myself on the line, because I was once like a lot of you are, who are listening to me talk. And you have children in the United States, and you don't have that much control over them, and they're growing up as Americans. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. So if you want to support me, I would appreciate that. And like I said, okay, I don't really need this. I don't need to, like, I'm talking $5. I'm not talking like $100. No, I'm talking like $5, $10, so I can see that you guys are serious. And then at the same time, when you send me something that you want to know about, and I want to be able to say, you see this $10 that you sent, this is what it has given you. Talk to this person. Making connections with business people here, I'm about that. So if you want to know anything else more about who Amin Ra is, all my work is basically on Facebook. So go Amin K Ra, and then if you want to support the channel with a gift from Western Union, I'm gonna do a shout out to you in the next video, and you'll know. Everyone will know that you did the support if that's what you want. Some guy sent money and said, I don't want you to mention my name, and I was like, okay, cool. And then he wanted some videos on business, and I created it. So this is what we can be doing here. Time for these little fun talk shows and chatting in the chat line, cracking jokes in the chat line. Okay, that's cool and everything, but some people need some real information, and I want to give that to you. So I'm gonna put the information, I think if it's not already there, in the comment section about how you can support. And then next time I'm gonna have my little paper there to show you the number on the screen, and then you can support me. So if you feel that this is good for you, okay, please like and share. The same old thing. Like and share the video. And until the next time we meet, peace.